Class, our topic for today is wasting assets. Class, our topic for today is wasting assets and depletion. This topic applies to mining companies. So yung mga mining companies, they extract mineral or natural resources, right? So examples of mineral resources are gold, silver, copper, coal, oil and gas, etc. Okay, so sa accounting, ang tawag natin dito, class, sa mga mineral resources na yan, these are wasting assets. Sir, bakit siya tinawag na wasting? Okay, tinawag siyang wasting is because of its properties. Number one is wasting assets are physically consumable. And number two, wasting assets are irreplaceable. Okay, so i-compare natin yung sa PPE. Okay, for example, meron tayong equipment. And yung equipment natin fully depreciated na. So ang gagawin lang natin, bibili tayo ng bagong equipment. Ganun nakasimple yun. Wasting assets are different. So yung mga gold, silver, etc. na yan, pag na-extract natin, okay, nabenta natin, hindi na natin marireplace yan. Kahit anong human intervention, ang makakapag-replace lang dyan is the nature. Alright? So wasting assets are physically consumable, na-extract natin yan, nabebenta natin, and they are irreplaceable. So tayo, humans, hindi natin marireplace yan. Nature lang ang makakapag-replace yan. Alright? Now, because these are assets, wasting assets, we have to record them at cost. So, parang PPE, nire-record natin at cost. That's why, class, very important na malaman natin kung ano yung components of the costs of wasting assets. We have 4 items. Costs of wasting assets, or WA na lang para mas maikli. We have 4 again. Acquisition costs, exploration and evaluation costs, development costs, and restoration costs. So, class, FYI pala, wala pang accounting standards as of today para sa wasting assets. Alright? So, it's a matter of company policy kung paano magiging treatment dyan. Okay? So, isa-isayin natin, class, because it's very important to know kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng mga costs na yan. So, let's say tayo si ABC Mining Company. And then, nakakita tayo ng land located in Zamboanga. Kasi Zamboanga, rich yan sa gold deposits. So, lagyan natin ito, gold deposits. And then, ayan, ang plano natin, mag-extract tayo ng gold deposits dun sa land na located in Zamboanga. Okay? Now, ito yung mga costs na i-incur natin. Number one, class, is acquisition costs. Basically, acquisition costs, this is the price paid to obtain the property. Yung binayad natin para mabili natin yung land. Okay? So, part of acquisition costs are cost of the land and all directly attributable costs. So, parang yung inaral natin sa PPE. Ano ba, class, yung mga directly attributable costs? For example, yung mga property taxes, okay? Yung cost to vacate, yung title, etc. So, lahat ng relevant costs para ma-obtain natin yung land, part yun ng acquisition cost. So, yung acquisition cost, ika-capitalize natin yan as cost of wasting assets. Gets? Okay. Now, second type of cost, very important, exploration and evaluation costs. So, mag-e-explore pa lang tayo, mag-e-evaluate pa lang tayo. So, these are costs needed to find, mga keywords na nalalagay ko, class, ha? Find or locate natural resources. So basically, at this point, ang ginagawa natin, class, is assessment of technical feasibility. Okay? So nabili na natin yung land, ang tawag natin dyan is acquisition cost. Yan, syempre, kailangan natin malaman kung may laman ba talagang gold yung land na yan. Okay? So lahat ng costs na i-incur natin para i-assess kung may laman na gold yan, ang tawag natin, class, exploration and evaluation costs. Now, examples of exploration and evaluation costs, ito, class, yung rights, okay, to explore or securing rights to explore. Ano ibig sabihin niyan, sir? Well, bago tayo makapag-explore ng mga ganyan, kailangan natin ng mga permits. Okay? Kukuha tayo ng permit from DENR, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, ano pa? And kukuha din tayo ng permit dun sa LGU. Okay? Kasi ang city located dun sa Zamboanga, yung land na yan. Alright? So, kailangan mag-comply tayo dun. So, yung securing permits or rights to explore, part yan ng exploration and evaluation costs. Ano pa, sir? Examples niyan. Okay? When we buy studies from experts. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga experts na related sa mining? So, yung mga mining engineers, yung mga geologists, mga ganyan. So, possible, class, na may mga experts na naaral na yung location na yan. Okay? Pwedeng tayo bumili ng mga studies from them. Part din yan ng exploration and evaluation costs. Right? And last one is sampling and trenching. Okay? Ibig sabihin lang, class, ng sampling and trenching, nagte-test tayo. Tina-testing natin kung may laman bang gold deposits siya. So again, pag sinabing exploration and evaluation cost, so nag-e-explore pa lang tayo, nag-e-evaluate pa lang tayo ng technical feasibility if yung land na nabili natin merong gold deposits. Okay, now, sabi ko kanina, wala pang accounting standards para sa wasting assets. Wala pa talaga, except yung exploration and evaluation cost. Accounting standard dito, class, is PFRS 6. Okay, relatively new standard yan. Ang important dito, class, is malaman natin kailan mag-a-apply yung PFRS 6. So, tingin ka dito sa timeline natin. Okay? So, at this point, isulat mo muna, class, and then explain ko later. At this point, this is the point wherein before legal rights are obtained. Okay? Before legal rights are obtained, dito naman, after legal rights are obtained. Okay? And last one is, at this point, with technical feasibility and commercial viability. Okay? So explain ko yung class. Ulat mo muna. So ito yung before legal rights are obtained, after legal rights are obtained, or with technical feasibility and commercial viability. Para saan sir yung timeline na yan? Plus kapag before legal rights are obtained, ibig sabihin yan, hindi pa tayo nakapag-secure ng permit from DENR or from the LGUs. Hindi pa applicable yung PFRS 6 yan. Ano yung PFRS 6? Ito yung standards para sa exploration and evaluation cost. So FYI class ha, yung 1, 3, and 4, wala pang accounting standards yan. Yung PFRS 6 para lang yan dito sa item number 2. Okay? Now, after legal rights are obtained, ibig sabihin, nakasecure na tayo ng permit from DENR and LGU, dito mag-a-apply yung PFRS 6. Ang sabi sa PFRS 6, the exploration and evaluation costs will depend kung ano yung company policy or yung policy ni management. Pwede nating i-capitalize, capitalized or expensed yung exploration and evaluation cost. If the problem is silent, i-assume mo class na capitalize yung exploration and evaluation cost. Alright? Ngayon, kapag sinabing with technical feasibility and commercial viability, sigurado na tayo na merong gold deposits dun sa land. Tama ba class? Sabi ko kanina, sa exploration and evaluation cost, hindi pa tayo sure kung merong gold deposits. Pag sure na tayo, okay, ang tawag dun is, meron tayong technical feasibility and commercial viability. Yung cost, ito, hindi applicable yung PFR 6 dyan. Dito lang applicable yung PFR 6. Because yung cost na may incur mo dito, ang tawag natin dun class is development cost. Alright? So, pag development cost na, natural resources are proven to exist. Okay? So, sure na tayo na may gold deposits talaga. Now, at this point, kailangan na natin mag-prepare ng site or site preparation. Alright? So, very important class. So, meron tayong land, kailangan i-prepare na natin yan. Maghuhukay na tayo, basically. Okay? Ano yung mga kailangan natin? We need two things. Number one, tangible equipment costs. Okay? And number two, intangible development costs. Sir, ano difference yung dalawa na yan? Punta tayo sa tangible equipment. So class, tangible ang ibig sabihin nun, nahawakan, right? Equipment. So ibig sabihin, equipment siya, PPE yan. And alam natin, pag PPE, subject to depreciation, right? Ano mga example, sir, of tangible equipment costs? Example dito, class, yung mga heavy equipment. So imagine niyo, paano ba tayo makakapaghukay sa land na yan? Kailangan natin ng trucks, okay? Drilling machines, right? Drilling machines. Ano pa? Kailangan natin ng crushing equipment. So imagine mo, class, kapag may mga huge rocks, kailangan natin i-crush yun. Kailangan natin drilling machines and crushing equipment. What else? Kailangan natin ng excavation tools, okay, paghuhukay mismo. And kailangan natin ng bunker. Nagbibigay ako ng example para mas ma-visualize yung pinag-uusapan natin class. So, tangible equipment cost, ano yung mga examples, sir, ng mga equipment na yan? Mga heavy equipment. Trucks, drilling machine and crushing equipment. Okay, basically, yun yung pag-crush ng mga huge rocks. Excavation tools, paghuhukay. Ano naman, sir, yung bunker? So, imagine niyo class, pag naghukay tayo dyan, yung mga workers natin, okay, pag nagkaroon ng landslide, delikado sa kanila yun. Kailangan mo gumawa ng bunker. Basically, yung bunker, gumagawa tayo ng walls, okay, dun sa mga nahukay, para kahit mag-landslide, protected yung mga workers natin ng mga concrete walls na yan. Gets? Okay. Tawag natin dyan, class, tangible equipment cost. Intangible equipment cost under development cost yan. Next, intangible. Hindi natin nahahawakan. Alright? Ano mga example, sir, of intangible development cost? Ito na yung actual labor cost natin sa pag-drill. Okay? Drilling costs and costs of construction. So yung actual na pagdidrill, right? Yung pagdidrill and yung pagko-construct, ang tawag natin doon, intangible development cost. So ano mga examples yan? Example natin class, yung mga, tayo ko lang dito, tunnels, okay na pa, wells and shafts. O yung tunnels, alam natin yan. Pag sabi mong tunnel class, naghukay tayo na pa-horizontal. Okay? Di ba ganito yung tunnel? Pag ganun? Alright? So para ma-imagine nyo lang, no? Pag sabi mong wells and shafts, naghukay tayo class, pero pa-vertical naman yan. So tunnels, horizontal, wells and shafts, vertical. So para maalala nyo yan, intangible, hindi mo naman nakahawakan yung tunnel. Kasi literally, hole yan, tama? And yung wells and shafts, tunnel din siya pero pa-vertical. Okay, pababa naman siya. Okay, so again class, tangible equipment costs and intangible development costs. Part yan ng development costs. Okay? So ika-capitalize natin yan. So tatlo na. Acquisition cost, exploration evaluation cost, capitalize din yan if the problem is silent. Development cost, and last one class is restoration cost. Sir, ano naman yung restoration cost? Ang ibang tawag sa class sa restoration cost is asset retirement obligation. Okay? Or ARO, Asset Retirement Obligation. Now, pag sinabing restoration costs, kasi class, required tayo by law, okay, required by law, such as, again, DENR and yung LGUs, okay, we are required to bring back the land to original condition. Okay? So, for example, class, yung land na yan, di ba, nag-develop na tayo, hinukay na natin, gumawa na tayo ng wells, gumawa na tayo ng tunnels, etc. Pag na-extract natin lahat ng gold deposits, required tayo ng batas na ibalik siya sa dati niyang situation, okay, or condition. So yung cost natin to bring back to its original condition, tawag natin yung restoration cost, ika-capitalize natin yan. And since yung restoration cost, in the future pa natin yan, i-incur, we have to measure this at present value. Okay? So yun yung mga kailangan nyo class. Again, 4 items para for the wasting assets, acquisition costs, exploration and evaluation costs, development costs, and restoration costs. Now, before we answer our handouts, last concept for this topic, depletion. Okay? Depletion. When you say depletion class, it is the removal or extraction of natural resources. So basically, kung sa PPE, meron tayong depreciation. So wasting assets, meron tayong depletion. Okay? Actually, class, yung definition for depletion is, sulat po to, systematic allocation of the depletable amount of a wasting asset. O, di ba kasi parang similar din yung definition ng PPE, systematic allocation of a depletable amount. Sa PPE, depreciable amount. So same na sila. Alright? Now, take note class na kung sa PPE, meron tayong different methods. Sa depreciation, tama? Straight line, double declining, ano pa yun, some of the use stages, etc. Sa depletion, usually ang ginagamit dito class is yung units of production method. Kung maalala nyo, na-discuss na natin yan, units of production method, wherein ang formula dyan class is cost minus residual value. Alright? Didivide natin yan sa total expected outputs para ma-compute natin yung per unit and then multiply natin yan sa actual output. Alright? So, yung cost minus residual value, yun yung depletable amount. Okay? So, actually, na-discuss natin yan sa depreciation. Depletable amount over yung total outputs na ina-expect natin, multiply natin sa actual output for that year, yun yung amount ng depletion natin. Ang tawag natin dyan class, units of production method or output method. Alright? Now, depletion is compliant with the matching principle in accounting. Alright? Very important yan. Kasi when you say matching principle, pag nag-generate tayo ng revenues, dapat i-record din natin yung associated or related expense. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin kasi dyan class, pag napag-extract na tayo ng gold, ibebenta na natin yun. So, pag nabenta natin, revenues natin yun. So, ano yung related expense? It's the depletion expense. Alright? And take note class na yung depletion expense, initially, i-record mo siya as inventory. Ika-capitalize natin sa inventory. Pag nabenta mo na yung gold, i-charge mo na sa cost of goods sold. So, ulitin ko class, pag na-extract natin yung gold, inventory yun. Depletion expense, inventory yun. Pag nabenta mo na yung gold, magiging cost of goods sold na yan. Alright? So, pwede mo isipin kasi parang ganito lang yan. Let's say, gumagawa tayo ng calculators. Alright? So, meron tayong equipment. Ginagamit natin yan, paggawa ng calculator. Di ba, yung depreciation ng equipment na yun, which is an overhead, di ba, kinakapitalize natin sa calculator yun as inventory, ganun din sa depletion. Okay? So, depreciation, kinakapitalize mo as inventory, depletion, kinakapitalize mo din as inventory. Alright? So, same lang yung concept nila. Okay, so, apply muna natin yung class para, let's go to our illustrative examples. Illustrative example, number 1. Okay, we have 2 requirements. Requirement A, compute for the depletion in 2026. And requirement B, assuming that of the 300,000 ounces of gold extracted, etc. That's still the given. In 2025, Pinnacle Mining Company acquired the rights to use 1,000 acres of land to mine the gold. The acquisition cost is 50 million. Acquisition cost, kinakapitalize natin yan as cost of wasting asset. The related exploration cost, 10 million. Or yun yung exploration and evaluation cost, kinakapitalize din natin yan. Actually, nakalagay dyan, it is the policy of Pinnacle to capitalize all costs of exploration and evaluation of mineral resources. Sabi sa PFRS 6, si management or si company, meron siyang option. Pwede niya i-capitalize, pwede niya i-expense. Very explicit sa problem na i-capitalize daw. But if the problem is silent, still, i-capitalize natin. Alright? So, so lagyan natin dyan class. Letter A, tignan natin yung mga i-capitalize natin. So, acquisition cost, AC na lang. That is 50 million, tama ba? And then, we have exploration costs. Okay. Exploration costs, how much? 10 million. Alright, next. Next paragraph. Intangible development costs for drilling, tunnels, shafts, and wells. Intangible development cost, part siya ng development costs. Right? Before opening the mine, amounted to 85 million. So, lagyan natin dito, development costs. That is, how much? 85 million. Okay, next. A law requires Pinnacle to restore the site at the end of its useful life. This estimated restoration cost have a present value of 5 million. Pag restoration cost, ika-capitalize natin yan. And since naka-present value na siya, hindi natin kailangan compute yung present value. So, lagyan natin dito class, restoration costs, that is 5 million. Okay. Pinnacle estimates that the mine will provide approximately 100 million ounces of gold. Pinnacle extracted 300,000 ounces of gold in 2026. So, i-total natin to class, 50 million plus 10 plus 85 plus 5. Nakuha niyo ba yung 150 million? Yes. So, ito yung total wasting assets natin. Journal entry. Anong date ba yan? Let's say January 1, 2025. I-debit natin yan sa debit wasting assets. Or actually, ang ibang tawag dyan class, baka may ma-encounter kayo na, ang ibang tawag, resource property. Okay, pareho lang yan. Wasting assets or resource property. Pero gamitin natin yung wasting assets. Debit wasting assets, 150 million. Okay, for this cost, kasi yun yung i-capitalize natin. Credit cash. Tama ba class, ang naggastos natin na cash ito? Yung tatlo na yan, right? That is 145 million. Kasi yung restoration cost, in the future pa yan. Liability mo ipipresent yan. Ang tatawag natin dyan, asset retirement obligation. Credit ARO, asset retirement obligation, 5 million. So, yung journal entry natin for the year. Alright? Next. Okay, actually, di pa natin susolve yung problem kasi compute for the depletion daw. Pag depletion, ano gagamitin natin class? Units of production method. Apply lang natin yung formula. Okay, meron tayong cost, which is 150 million. Ito yung depletion natin. Let's compute for the depletion. Okay, 150 million our cost. Meron ba tayong residual value? May sinabi ko sa problem? Actually, wala. Okay, so walang residual value. I-divide natin sa total output. Tingin ka doon ka sa last paragraph. Nakita mo ba yung approximately 100 million? Okay, so lagyan natin 100 million. So how much na yan? 150 divided by 100 million, that is 1.5 per ounce. 1.5 per ounce. And then, ang total na extract for the year, last sentence, 300,000. Times 300,000, tama ba class? 300,000 times 1.5, that is 450,000. So yung depletion natin, yun yung sagot natin for letter A, 450,000. Let's do the journal entry. So this is 2026. So let's be natin ng December 31. December 31, 2026. Okay. Debit depletion expense na ika-capitalize natin sa inventory kasi para siyang overhead, no? Ika-capitalize mo sa inventory. And then credit accumulated depletion. So, wag ka malito ka sa depletion. Isipin mo lang para lang siyang depreciation. 450,000. Gawin lang din. Di ba sa depreciation, debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation. Gawin lang din dyan. Debit depletion expense, na ika-capitalize natin sa inventory, credit accumulated depletion. Alright, next. Letter B. So, ito na A. Right, nasagot natin sa A. Sabi yung sa B, assuming that of the 300,000 ounces of gold, meron tayong 300,000 ounces na na-extract, tama? Total is 300,000. Alright? 280,000 were sold. Okay, so 280,000 doon nabenta natin. And then 20,000 remain in inventory. So na-extra natin 300. Nabenta 280, well, natira 300 minus 280 is 20,000. Compute for the depletion recognized in the statement of comprehensive income or yung income statement and statement of financial position. So ito yung statement of comprehensive income para dito yan sa nabenta. Okay, which is actually cost of goods sold. Yung 20,000, ito yung sa statement of financial position, the ending inventory. Right? So 280,000, multiply ko yung class dun sa 1.5 na na-compute natin. So 280,000 times 1.5, how much yan? 280,000 times 1.5, that is 420,000. 420,000, this is our cost of goods sold kasi nabenta na siya. So ulitin ko, kapag depletion, initially, i-recognize mo sa inventory. Pag nabenta mo na yan, cost of goods sold na yan. Right? Ngayon, may natitira pa sa atin na 20,000. How much daw yan? 20,000 times 1.5, that is 30,000. Represent natin siya as ending inventory in the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Let's do the journal entry. Nung nagbenta tayo class for the 420,000, debit cost of goods sold, credit inventory, 420,000. Okay? Pag nag-T account ka class sa inventory, initially meron tayong 450,000. Okay, initial cost natin sa inventory. And then nag-credit tayo na 420 para dun sa nabenta natin. Therefore, ending balance of inventory natin is 30,000, which is this one. Alright, so sagot natin sa requirement B, 420,000 sa cost of goods sold, okay? And 30,000 for ending inventory. Now, FYI, ganito yung presentation of the wasting assets. No? So, in the balance sheet, ang presentation ng wasting assets, ganito yung class, para siyang PPE. So, again, ganito lang isipin mo, para lang siyang PPE. Wasting assets is at cost, which is 150 million. Okay, minus accumulated depletion. Na-compute natin is 450,000. Okay, and then carrying amount, or carrying value, or book value, 150 million minus 450,000, that is 149,550,000. Okay, ganyan siya. Parang PPE lang din, di ba? PPE minus accumulated depreciation, yun yung carrying amount. Ganun lang din sa wasting assets. Wasting assets minus accumulated depletion, carrying amount. Okay, yung wasting assets, since assets siya, nasa balance sheet yan. Okay, so that's for illustrative example number 1. Let's go to main problem. Okay, erase ko na class, so make sure na-copy nyo. Let's go to main problem number 10. Number 10 kasi yung first 9 questions, theory questions yan. So, diretso tayo class sa main problem number 10. So, erase ko lang. Okay, so for this one, multiple choice. Tignan natin kung paano natin isosolve yan. Main problem number 10. Okay, we have 4 questions. Let's read the given first. Sheena Corporation purchased mining property for 10.4 million. Tama ba class yung 10.4? That's your acquisition cost, tama? So, lagay ko na agad dito. Acquisition cost natin is 10.4 million. Alright, and we'd estimated 8 million tons of ore. So, yun yung total expected output natin, 8 million. Okay? So, lagyan na. Total expected output is how much? 8 million. Okay? Residual value, 800,000. Gagamitin natin yan sa depletion. Okay? Building used in mine operations costs 800,000. So, ingat ka class. Yung building na yan, subject yan to depreciation. Hindi yan subject to depletion. Ingat ka doon ha. Dito, ito lang yung subject to depletion, yung 4 na items na yan. Yung building, depreciation yan. Okay? Nagtayo ng building dun sa mine. Ganun nangyari. Estimated life of 15 years with no residual value. Mine machinery costs 1.6 million with an estimated residual value of 320 after its physical life of 4 years. Yung mine machinery, para siyang ito, yung tangible equipment costs. Yung equipment, PPE yan. Okay? So, pag PPE, depreciation yan. Actually, ang depletion lang dyan kasi ito. For this one, yung intangible development cost, depletion yan. Yung tangible equipment, parang yung building kanina, depreciation yan. Okay? Sige. So, let's read. Following is a summary of the company's operations for 2021, the first year of operations. Tons mined, 800,000. Yung total, 8 million. Yung na-expect natin sa buong property. For the first year, ang na-extra kasi 800,000. Nabenta, 640,000. Tama ba class? 800 minus 640. Lagay mo dyan, 160,000. Tama ba? Yun yung ending inventory. Okay? Unit selling price, 4.4. Direct labor, 640, overhead 128, operating expenses excluding depreciation 576. Inventories are valued on a FIFO basis. Depreciation on the building is to be allocated as follows: 20% to operating expenses, 80% to production. Ano ibig sabihin nun, sir? Yung depreciation daw ng building, 20% i-charge mo sa OPEX, yung 80% i-charge mo sa inventory, okay, or production. Depreciation on machinery is chargeable to production. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng depreciation for the machinery, i-capitalize natin as inventory. Alright, so question number 1, how much is the depletion in 2021? Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Again, ang subject ng sa depletion, well, yung 4 na items dito. Alright? And then yung acquisition cost, yun yung compute natin, yun yung subject to depletion. Kasi the rest, subject to depreciation. 10.4 million. May residual value ba? Tingin ka dun sa second sentence. The residual value of the property is 800,000. Minus 800,000, i-divide natin yung class by total expected output na 8 million. So how much yung per unit natin or per ounce? 10.4 million minus 800,000 divided by 8 million, you get 1.2. So lagay mo dyan class, 1.2 per, I think per ton. Okay, 1.2 per ton. And then, how much daw yung depletion? No? Ilan yung na-extract natin for the year? Tama ba 800,000? Yes, 800,000. Times 800,000, yung depletion natin for the year is 1.2 times 800,000, that is 960,000. For question number 1, answer natin class, letter C. Okay, 960,000. So, in-apply lang natin yung units of production method, cost minus residual value over total estimated output, multiply sa actual output for the year, you get 960,000. Question number 2. How much is the total inventoriable depreciation? Ano dito may depreciation? Building and machinery. Okay? So, lagay mo natin sa building. Ngayon, class, ingat ka dito, no? For the building, okay, yung mga, even though subject yan to depreciation, okay, ang gagamitin mong method dyan is the units of production method. Yun pa rin kahit depreciation. Okay, so ang gagawin natin sa building, tama ba class yung building dyan, tingin ka dun sa third sentence, building used in mine operations cost 800,000. Okay, residual value, meron ba residual value? Wala, no residual value. And estimated life of 15 years. So tingnan mo muna mabuti class. Yung useful life ng building is 15 years. Alright? How much yung useful life ng mine or ng wasting assets natin? Yung useful life ng property mismo or yung mine, paano natin makakompute yung class? Well, meron tayong 8 million expected output and then na-extract natin is 800,000. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, 8 million divided by 800,000, that's 10 years. So, pwede mong isipin class, ito yung mine, merong building dyan sa loob. Okay? Tinayo dun sa mine. Okay? Or nandun sa pasas, may building dyan. Yung useful life ng building, 15 years. Pero yung useful life ng mine, 10 years lang. Okay? Pipiliin mo class whichever is shorter. Alright? Kasi walang sense eh. Kasi pag napag-extra ka na after 10 years, wala nang laman. Wala ka nang paggagamitan ng building. Okay? Pipiliin mo dyan lagi, whichever is shorter. Parang iyan yung concept ng leasehold improvements. Alala niyo ba yun? Di ba sa leasehold improvements, whichever is shorter din yung ginagamit natin. Ganun din dito. Okay? So for this one, ang shorter is 10 years. Kasi useless na yung building after 10 years. Aalis na tayo sa property na yan. Okay? Wala na. Na-exact natin lahat eh. So sa building class, again, units of production method yung gagamitin natin. So how much yung cost? That is 800,000. Based sa third sentence. Paano ba units of production? Wala daw residual value, so walang minus dyan. Over 8 million, yung denominator, multiply natin sa actual na extract, 800,000. Okay, so 800,000 divided by 8 million times 800,000, that is 80,000. Depreciation natin class for the building, 80,000. Tingin ka dun sa last paragraph. Okay, sabi dyan, depreciation of the building is to be allocated as follows. 20% to OPEX, 80% to production. So yung 20% OPEX yan. How much yung 80,000 times 20%? 16,000 yan. Okay? And then yung 80% sa production or ibig sabihin sa inventory. Ano ba yung 80% ng 80,000? 64,000. Ang tanong class sa question number 2, take note, inventoriable depreciation. Ito yung sagot mo. 64,000. Alright? Pero building pa lang yan. Meron pa tayong isang depreciation, yung machinery. Okay? So for the machinery, ganito naman gagawin ko yung class. How much yung cost ng machinery? Tingin ka dun sa first paragraph, last sentence, mine machinery costs 1.6 million with residual value of 320,000. So 1.6 million minus 320. Pero lagi mo i-check yung useful life. Okay? What is the useful life of the machinery? Nakalagay dyan 4 years. What is the useful life of the mine? Nakalagay 10 years. Right? Ano sabi ko kanina class? Whichever is shorter. Okay? Ano yung shorter? Obviously, yung 4 years. Kapag mas mababa or mas maikli yung life of the building or the machinery, straight line method yan. Tandaan mo yun, ha? Straight line yan. Kapag lang mas mataas or mas matagal yung useful life ng mine, dun ka lang mag-units of production. So for the machinery, 1.6 million minus 320,000, i-divide natin sa useful life niya na 4 years. Kasi walang sense class, tingnan mo. Kapag i-depreciate mo siya sa 10 years, walang sense kasi fully depreciated na siya, hindi mo na siya magagamit after 4 years. So kapag shorter yung life, straight line yan. Okay? Kapag mas mahaba yung life ng mine, units of production yan. Okay? So ang gagawin ko dyan class, 1.6 million minus 320,000 divided by 4. 1.6 minus 320,000 divided by 4, you get 320,000. Sabi dyan, sa last sentence, last paragraph, depreciation of machinery is chargeable to production. So lahat yan for the inventory. So add natin class, 320 for machinery, plus 64,000 for the building. Total natin, 384,000. Sagot natin for question number 2, letter B, 384,000. Okay? Question number 3, how much is the inventory as of December 31, 2021? Okay, yung question number 3. Now, tingin ka dun class sa middle portion ng problem. Following is the summary of the company's operations. Alright, so gagawin ko dyan, well, kailangan ko malaman ko how much yung total na ikakapitalize natin sa inventory. Well, yung sagot ko sa A, sa question number 1, na 960,000, yun yung sa depletion. Sabi ko kanina, yung depletion, inventoryable yan, tama? So, lagay ko dito class, depletion, 960. Yun yung sagot natin sa question number 1. Sagot natin sa question number 2, the depreciation of the building and the machinery, yun sagot natin 384, inventoryable din yan. So, lagay natin 384. Ngayon, class, tingin ka dun sa middle portion ng problem. Okay? Nakalagay dyan, direct labor, 640. So, yung mga binayad natin sa mga laborers or workers natin, obviously, inventoryable yan. 640,000. Okay? Next is miscellaneous mining overhead. So, other overhead. Siguro, may electricity, yung mga ganyan, utilities. So, other overhead, kakapitalize mo din yan. This is 128,000. So, yung total na pwede natin i-capitalize to inventory is 960,000 plus 384 plus 640 plus 128,000. That is 2,112,000. Okay. Now, 2,112,000. Ang tanong sa ating class, how much daw yung inventory? No? And sa question number 4, how much daw yung cost of sales? Tama ba? Ito yung total cost natin. And then, ang na-extract natin for the year is 800,000. Tama? So, per unit, 2,112,000 divided by 800,000, we get 2.64. So, 2.64 per ton. Okay? Now, 2.64 per ton, ilan yung nabenta nating class? Nakalagay dyan sa middle portion, 640,000. Tama? So, ang total natin is 800,000. Nabenta natin 640, therefore ending inventory mo dyan is 160,000. Okay, multiply natin sa 2.64, 640,000 times 2.64, 1,689,600. Okay, nabenta. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung cost of goods sold. Times 2.64, ito naman yung ending inventory natin. 160,000 times 2.64, 422,400. This is our ending inventory. That's why, sagot natin class sa question number 3, how much is the inventory? Sagot mo dyan, letter C, 422,400. Question number 4, how much is the cost of sales? Okay, sagot mo dyan, letter A, 1,689,600. Alright, that's letter A. That is main problem number 10. Okay, next. Let's go to main problem number 11. Okay, ganun lang din. So, same concepts na din i-apply natin. Okay, erase ko na to class. Let's go to main problem number 11. Alright, so, erase. Make sure nakapin yung solution natin. So, ingat lang lagi kasi sa useful life. No? Doon kasi nagkakamali yung mga students. Lagi mo i-check whichever is shorter. Intuitive naman kung bakit shorter. Tama? Kasi pag na-exhaust mo na, na-extract mo na lahat ng deposits, wala ka nang gagawin doon sa property na aalis na tayo doon. Kaya whichever shorter lagi. Main problem number 11. Okay, how much is the depletion? Well, pag depletion, units of production method yung gagamitin natin. Alright, Arisa Mining Company had the following transactions. First bullet, it paid 5.4 million for property containing natural resources of 2 million. Yun yung acquisition cost. Like dito, acquisition cost, that is 5.4 million. Bullet number 2, the estimated cost of restoring the land or restoration cost, ka-capitalize natin yan, 450,000. Alright? So restoration cost, RC na lang, 450,000. So assume natin na present value na yan kasi wala namang binigay na present value factor. The land will have a value of 650 after it's restored for suitable use. Ano yan? Yung 650, yun yung residual value. Okay? Development costs such as drilling and road construction amounted to 2.5 million. Uy, development cost. Alright? And then, buildings such as houses and mess hall were constructed for 1.5 million. Uy, buildings. So, PPE yan, building. Next bullet, development costs and buildings should be included in the account mine improvements. So, yung bullet na yan, class, yun yung policy ng company. Alright? Sabi dyan, yung previous two bullets, yung 2.5 million and 1.5 million, ang sabi dyan, development costs and buildings should be included in the account mine improvements. Ipa-follow natin kung ano yung company policy. Ibig sabihin, class, yung 2.5 million and 1.5 million, PPE yan. Okay? Hindi yan kasama dun sa depletion na computation natin. Right? So again, if silent, yung development cost and actually yung exploration evaluation cost, pag silent yan, i-capitalize mo. Pero pag may minention na company policy, i-follow mo yung company policy. Okay? So in short, yung dalawa lang na to, class, ito lang yung subject to depletion. 5.4 million plus 450, this is 5,850,000. Okay, yun yung cost ng wasting assets natin. Okay, let's compute for the depletion. Okay, continue muna natin class. Operations began on January 1, 2020 and resources removed total 600,000. During 2021, a discovery was made indicating that available resources after 2021 will total 1,875,000. Okay? Balikan natin mamaya yan. Pero alam natin sa 2020, nakapag-extract tayo ng 600,000. Okay? So how much daw yung depletion? Ito ang gagawin ko dyan. Ito yung cost, 5,850. Minus ko yung residual value. Punta ka dun class sa third bullet. The land will have a value of 650. Yun yung residual value. Divide by yung total, which is nasa bullet number 1, 2 million tons. Okay? Yung per ton natin, 5,850,000 minus 650. The residual value divided by 2 million. You have 2.6 per ton. Okay? And then na-extract natin dun sa third to the last bullet times 600,000. Tama? So 2.6 times 600,000. Sagot mo dyan class, 1,560,000. Ito yung for 2020. Alright? So dalawa yung tanong sa atin, 2020 and 2021. Alright? Now, balik tayo dun sa third to the last bullet. Okay? Second to the last bullet. During 2021, a discovery was made indicating that available resources will total, after 2021, will total 1,875,000. Ano ibig sabihin yung class? Parang sa PPE, nagbago yung useful life. Ganun lang ibig sabihin yan. Okay? So change in estimate yan. Alam natin, kapag change in estimate, prospective application dyan. Diba? Ano nga ba class ang ginagawa natin kapag may change in estimate? Kino-compute natin kung ano yung updated na carrying amount. So yun yung nagagawin natin. So for 2021 class, compute natin yung updated carrying amount. Well, meron tayong cost of the wasting asset na how much? 5,850,000. And then yung accumulated depletion na na-compute natin, 1,560,000. Tama ba class? Yung updated carrying amount natin is 5,850 minus 1,560, 4,290,000. Okay, so na-compute natin yung updated carrying amount and then mag-compute tayo ng depletion. Meron tayong residual value. How much? 650. Hindi naman sinabi nagbago yan, so gamitin natin yung 650. I-divide natin sa yung bagong total. Okay, basically. Pero ingat ka dyan, class. Basahin ulit natin yung second to the last bullet. During 2021, a discovery was made indicating that available resources after 2021, underline mo yung after 2021, will total 1,875,000. Ano ibig sabihin nun, sir? Kapag katapos natin mag-extract ng 2021, ang matitira pa sa atin is 1,875. And then next bullet, because of a strike, only 400,000 were mined in 2021. Paano mo compute yung total? Tama ba class? Ganito ang gagawin ko dyan? Para ma-compute yung denominator, ang gagawin ko dyan is 1,875,000, which is ito yung after 2021. Lagay ko after 2021. And then yung actual in 2021 is 400,000. Therefore, 1,875,000 plus 400,000 is 2,275,000. Ito yung total natin. Okay? Ito daw yung matitira, 1,875,000 pagkatapos natin mag-extract ng 2021. Ito yung na-extract natin, 400. Pag in-add ko yung dalawa na yan, 2,275, yun yung total expected output natin. Okay? So, divided by 2,275,000, multiply natin class dun sa actual na na-extract natin, which is 400,000. You get, so 4,290,000 minus residual value of 650 over total na 2,275. Multiply natin by 400,000, sagot mo dito class, 640,000. Letter C, 1,560,000, 640,000. Ingat ka lang dito sa total. Okay, pag may change in estimate, compute the updated carrying amount, and then compute for depletion, minus residual value over total. Ingat ka sa total, huwag mong gagamitin yung 1,875. Kasi yung 1,875, natanggal na dyan yung 400. O dapat add back mo yan. Add natin, ito yung total. Times 400, you get 640,000. Easy. Okay, so that's for main problem number 11. Now, let's go to illustrative example number 2. May papakita lang ako sa inyo klase. Erase ko na to. Illustrative example number 2. Meron na tayong special case dito. No? Tingnan natin kung ano yung accounting if there is no production in a period. Let's go to illustrative example number 2. For example, class, for the year, walang na-extract. Okay? Because of an event. Ano gagawin natin? Okay, so let's read the given. In 2025, Mr. Accounting Mining purchased a real estate containing copper for 10 million. So yung copper, 10 million, yun yung wasting asset yan. Tama? Immovable, tangible equipment costs for drilling, rig foundation, total 5 million. Okay, nakalagay immovable. Ano ibig sabihin ng class? Well, hindi natin matatanggal from the land. Okay? So pag natapos na yung mining, yung pag-extract natin, useless na yan. Okay? Yun ibig sabihin yan, immovable. Estimated recoverable reserves from the mine are 1 million units. It is estimated that 100,000 units will be extracted. So yung useful life ng mine, pwede natin i-estimate. So sabi dyan, 1 million daw and then 100,000 yung may extract each year. Di 10 years. Tama? Yung estimate ng life ng mine. Therefore, the life ng nakalagay na pala, the life is 10 years. The drilling rig foundation has an estimated life of 15 years. Uy, sabi ni sir, whichever is lower. Okay, so 10 years yung gagamitin natin. Actual units extracted from 2025 to 2027 total 340,000 units. No units were extracted during 2028 kasi nga no production in a period. due to an employee strike. Okay, nagkaroon ng strike, walang production or walang extraction. Extraction resumed in 2029. Okay? The total units extracted during that year, 80,000 units. So, ganito nangyari, class. From 2025 to 2027, walang problema yan kapag extract. 2028, walang extraction. 2029, nag-resume na extraction. So, ito yung accounting issue natin. Ano gagawin natin sa 2028? Alright? Requirement A, depreciation charge on the immovable tangible equipment in 2028. Compute mo natin yung 2025 to 2027. Alright? Class, how much yung subject to depreciation? Huwag mo isasama yung 10 million sa first sentence kasi subject to depletion yan. Ang tanong sa atin, depreciation. Okay? So, yung immovable tangible equipment, which is 5 million. So, 5 million. And then, sabi ko kanina, whichever is shorter, so 10 years yung mine, 15 years yung equipment, so pipili natin yung 10 years. Kapag ganyan, units of production method. So, 5 million, i-divide natin yung class by ilan yung total na ina-expect natin na may extract? 1 million. Okay. So, 5 million divided by 1 million. So, this means 5 per unit. Alright? Multiply natin class by ilan yung units na na-extract from 2025 to 2027. Nakalagay dyan sa second paragraph, 340,000. Okay, so 5 times 340,000 times 5, 1.7 million. 1.7 million. So yung depletion expense natin, 1.7 million. Total na yan. Okay, total from 2025 to 2027. Now, ito na, yung mismong tanong sa atin, 2028. It's as if change in estimate yan. Okay, so compute natin yung updated carrying amount. Ito lang gagawin ko dyan class. Cost natin is 5 million. Accumulated depletion natin is ilan? How much yung accumulated depletion natin? Well, 1.7 million. Tama? 1.7 million. Therefore, updated carrying amount, 5 million minus 1.7 million, 3.3 million. Okay pa? So, updated carrying amount. Now, wala tayong production. Okay? Sabi ko kayo na whichever is shorter. Ito yung exception. Kapag walang production, magsiswitch tayo sa straight line. Kasi walang production, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung units of production method. Okay? Switch ka sa straight line. 15 years. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung 10 years kasi nga wala namang production during the year. Now, nakalipas na yung 3 years, 2025, 2026, 2027. So, minus 3. Therefore, 12 years yung gagamitin natin na remaining useful life. Okay? Ito yung exception. Pag walang production, switch to straight line. So, di-divide ko to by 12 years. Alright? So, ang magiging depreciation natin in 2028, 3.3 million divided by 12, 275,000. Sagot natin class sa requirement A, 275,000. Ingat ka, switch to straight line method. Now, sa requirement B, meron ng extraction ulit. Nag-resume na yung operations. Switch ka na naman sa units of production method. Okay? So, compute natin class yung carrying amount updated. Yung cost natin is 5 million. Accumulated depletion natin. Tama ba class? Meron tayong 1.7 million hanggang 2027. Tapos, meron pang depletion na 275,000 in 2028. 1.7 plus 275, 1,975,000. This is our accumulated depletion. Therefore, our updated carrying amount, 5 million minus 1,975,000, 3,025,000. Units of production method na kasi meron ng operations. Ilan na lang yung units na pwede natin i-extract. Okay? Well, i-divide natin yan by, originally meron tayong 1 million. Tama? May 1 million units tayo. Yung total na estimate natin. 2025 to 2027, ang na-extract natin dyan, if you remember sa last paragraph, actual units extracted, total 340,000. Tama ba class? 1 million minus 340, this is 660,000. Ito na lang yung natitira na pwede natin i-extract. Okay? Remaining, parang yan yung remaining useful life. O, divide mo yan. Divide by 660,000. Okay? Ilan yan? 3,025,000 divided by 660, that is 4.58. Okay, round off na natin to 2 decimal places. 4.58. And then ilang units yung na-extract last sentence, unit or extraction, resume 2029, total units extracted, 80,000. Multiply by 80,000. Okay, 4.58 times 80,000, that is 366,400. Sagot natin class, 2029, 366,400. So, requirement A, in 2028, depreciation mo, 275,000. Requirement B, depreciation mo, 2028, 366,400. Okay. So, ganun siya. Now, last special accounting issue na possible mo ma-encounter for wasting assets is for dividend declaration. Okay? So, last one na to class and then we're done with this topic. Para ma-cover natin lahat ng issues na possible na ma-encounter mo for this topic. Okay? Now, lagyan natin dito class, declaration of dividends. Yung dividends, actually meron tayong separate topic dyan pag nasa shareholders equity na tayo. Pero may special treatment kasi for wasting assets or for mining companies. Now, we will learn soon sa shareholders equity na ang general rule natin class, whenever we declare dividends, the amount of dividends or yung maximum dividends that we can declare and distribute to the shareholders, ang maximum lang na pwede, is equal to our unrestricted retained earnings. Alright? But tawag sa unrestricted, unappropriated. Okay? Tandaan mo yung general rule natin. Ang maximum dividends na pwede mong i-distribute sa mga shareholders, equal lang yan sa unrestricted retained earnings. Okay? So for example class, yung shareholders equity natin, makikita natin doon, merong common stock. Let's say yung common stock is 500,000. Alright? And then yung retained earnings natin, 1 million. So, pag magde-declare ka ng dividends, hanggang 1 million lang. Yun yung maximum. Okay? Kasi class, ganito mangyayari dyan. Let's say, nag-declare tayo ng 1.2 million. Alright? Yung 1 million dyan, manggagaling sa RE. Yung 200,000, manggagaling yan sa common stock or yung ordinary shares. Bawal yan. Bawal ka mag-declare ng dividends galing sa common stock. Bakit, sir? Yung common stock, class, tandaan mo, ang tawag dyan, legal capital. Okay? Legal capital, in the event of liquidation. For example, yung corporation, na liquidate. Okay? Yung legal capital na yan, ipambabayad mo yan sa shareholders, pambabayad mo muna yan sa creditors, yun yung priority. And pag may natira pa, tsaka mo lang yan ibibigay sa shareholders. Gets mo ba yung class? So, yung legal capital, protection ng mga creditors yan. Pag nag-declare ka ng dividends galing legal capital, sino shortcut mo? Binibigyan mo na agad si shareholders. Bawal yan sa Pilipinas. Okay? Ang tawag natin sa rule na yung class is trust fund doctrine. Bakit, sir, trust fund doctrine? Well, yung legal capital, trust fund yan or protection yan ng mga creditors. Right? Yan yung general rule natin in accounting. Exception to the rule is for mining companies or for wasting assets. Pag mga mining companies, may iba tayong computation. Alright? Ang tawag natin dito kanina, trust fund doctrine, ang exception dito is the wasting asset doctrine. So FYI na lang yun yung tawag dyan. Wasting asset doctrine, this exception applies only to mining companies. Sir, paano yung computation ng maximum dividends kapag mining companies? Maximum dividends is equal to unrestricted RE. Okay pa. Pareho lang sila, unrestricted RE, plus accumulated depletion of all the units sold. Okay, yun yung bago. Same lang, general rule, may dagdag tayo. Plus, accumulated depletion. Alam natin paano mag-compute yan. Pero tandaan mo, lahat ng units nabenta na natin. Huwag mo isasama yung mga sa ending inventory. Alright? Sir, bakit ganyan yung rule? Okay, well, first, i-follow mo na ganyan yung rule. Pero kasi class, ganyan yung rule sa Philippines, no? Because yung mga investors, alam nila na ang nature of wasting assets, yung mga mineral resources na yan, irreplaceable yan. Okay, once na-extract mo yan, once na-benta mo, wala na yan. Okay, hindi natin, kahit anong human intervention, hindi mo na ma-reproduce yan. Okay? So ngayon, ang mga investors ng mga mining companies, ang gusto nila, as soon as possible, ma-extract nila lahat ng mga, for example, mga gold, mabilisan, para makapag-revenues agad sila, mabenta agad nila. Unlike kapag mga PPE, long-term ang tingin ng mga investors. Pag wasting assets, gusto nila, kunin agad nila lahat. Okay? So because of the nature of the wasting assets as being irreplaceable, alright? So gusto ng mga investors, ma-exhaust agad yung property or ma-extract lahat. Okay? In that case, short term, okay, yung mindset ng mga investors, nag-permit yung Philippines, okay, na pwede, sige, ang magawa tayo ng exception. Pag mining companies, pwede ka mag-declare ng dividends out of the accumulated depletion. Alright, now, apply natin yan. Let's go to illustrative example number 3. Okay, dito na lang class. Sige, dito na lang. Illustrative example number 3. Okay, maximum dividend. CPA Mining provided the following balances at the end of the current year. Requirement A, compute the maximum dividend that can be declared. Ito yung formula mo. Requirement B, prepare journal entry to record the declaration of 2 million dividend. Okay, let's take a look at the given. Wasting asset at cost, 20 million sa balance sheet yan. Accumulated depletion, 2.5 kontra asset account yan. Okay, so wasting asset minus accumulated depletion, you get the carrying amount. Share capital, yun yung common stock. Okay, yung CS natin, share capital. Capital liquidated. So, capital liquidated, iyon na class yung naibalik na sa mga shareholders. Alright, so meron ng return of capital. Yun na yung parang ito. Di ba, nag-declare na 1.2 million. Yung 1 million galing RE, yung 200,000 galing legal capital. Iyon yung capital liquidated. Okay? Retained earnings, 1.5 million. Depletion based on 50,000 units at 20 per unit. So, 50,000 times 20, 1 million. So, yun yung na-extract. Tama? Inventory of resource deposits, 5,000 units. Computing nga natin class kung how much yung ending inventory. 5,000 tapos 20 per unit daw. So, lagay mo dyan, 5,000 times 20. Lagay mo muna 100,000. Yun yung ending inventory natin. Okay, compute the maximum dividends. Paano yung formula? RE plus accumulated depletion. So, gagawin ko lang dyan class. Sa requirement A natin, lagay ko muna yung RE. Sabi sa problem, merong 1.5 million. Tama? Add natin yung accumulated depletion. So sabi dyan, accumulated depletion is 2.5 million. Pero ingat ka, huwag mo na ilagay. Sabi ko dyan, accumulated depletion ng lahat na nabenta. Alright? Tama ba class? 2.5 million nakalagay dyan. Na-compute natin yung ending inventory ng 100,000. So 2.5 minus 100, 2.4 yung nabenta. 2.4 million. So na-compute ko yung 2.4, 2.5 million minus ending inventory ng 100,000. Okay? 1.5 plus 2.4, 3.9 million. Ito yung total natin. Pero tandaan mo class, hindi pa iyan yung sagot mo, hindi 3.9. Bakit sir? Yung 3.9 million class, iyan yung pwede mong i-declare na dividends simula nung operations pa nung company. Yung simula pa, until now. Iyan yung cumulative, parang ganun. E may naibalik na tayo sa mga shareholders na capital liquidated. How much? Nakalagay dun sa fourth item, 1.8 million. So 3.9 minus 1.8 million, meron tayong 2.1 million. Tama? So 3.9 minus 1.8, you get 2.1 million. So ito na lang class, yung 2.1 million, yung pwede mong i-declare na maximum for the year. Okay? So, yun yung sagot natin. Maximum mo is 2.1 million. So, ulitin ko. RE. Okay tayo dyan. plus accumulated depletion. Huwag mo kalimutan tanggalin yung ending inventory. Okay, yung total na yan yung total na pwede mong i-declare simula pa ng operations until now. Okay? Buong life. Kaya lang, meron na tayong na-declare previously. Ang gusto natin yung for the year lang. Pwede minus mo yung na-declare mo na previously. 2.1 million, yun yung pwede mo pa i-declare. Alright? So, yun yung sagot mo sa A. B. Prepare the journal entry to record the declaration of 2 million dividends. Pwede pa tayo mag-declare ng 2 million? Yes, kasi hanggang 2.1 million. Tama? So, ang mangyayari dyan, class, yung 2 million, ang kukuhanan mo dyan, yung RE natin na 1.5, and then yung 2.1 minus 1.5, yung 500,000 natin, i-liquidated yan, capital liquidated. Okay, entry natin dyan, pag nag-declare ka ng dividends, malalaman natin ito kapag discuss tayo shareholders equity, pero yung entry natin, debit retained earnings, 1.5 million, debit capital liquidated, 500,000, and then credit dividends payable, 2 million. Ayan, ito yung entry mo. Pag binayaran mo na, debit dividends payable, credit cash. But this is your journal entry. Ayun, sagot natin. Now, para mas malinaw, class, papakita ko sa iyo yung magiging itsura ng shareholders equity dito sa problem na to. Meron kang share capital, which is 50 million, hindi naman yan nagbago. Okay? Yung capital liquidated natin, meron tayong 1.8 million, tapos nagdagan pa ng 500. So that's 2.3 million. Tandaan mo, yung capital liquidated, contra equity account yan. Mag-minus ka dyan. So 1.8 plus 500, that's 2.3 million. I-minus mo yan. Contra equity account. Ngayon, yung retained earnings natin, actually, ubos na. Kasi 1.5 million yan, and then dinebit mo pa, ubos na yan, zero na yan. Shareholders equity natin, 50 million minus 2.3, 47.7 million. Ito yung total shareholders equity. Okay? So para lang ma-visualize mo, sa problem na yan, iyon yung presentation ni shareholders equity. Alright, so that's it. So yeah, so tapusin lang natin class by answering a few theory questions. So I think na-discuss ko na lahat. Okay, few theory questions. Theory number 1, PFRS 6 applies to expenditures incurred. Ito yung PFRS 6, applicable lang yan sa exploration and evaluation costs. Tingnan natin class A, when a specific area is being developed, mali na yan, development cost yun eh. B, in extracting mineral resources and processing the resources to make it marketable. Hindi. Pag sinabi mo exploration and evaluation cost, ina-assess pa lang natin. Wala pang assurance kung merong gold deposits. Okay? Dito, nag-extra ka na eh. So, hindi kasama yan. C, when searching for an area that may want detailed exploration, even though the entity has not yet obtained before legal rights are obtained, wala ka dyan yung PFR6. Dapat after legal rights are obtained. Punta tayo sa DOG. Yun yung sagot natin. When the legal rights to explore have been obtained, but the technical feasibility and commercial viability are not yet demonstrated. Pag before mo ma-obtain, and pag may with technical feasibility, hindi yan PFR6. Ang PFR6 lang, after legal rights are obtained, before magkaroon ng technical feasibility. Pag may technical feasibility na yan, development cost na yan. Okay? DOG for number 1. Number 2, which of the following expenditures would never qualify exploration and evaluation? Ito. Alin daw yung hindi part niyan? A, expenditures for exploratory, yes. B, expenditure for acquisition of rights to explore, or yung permit sa DNR. Yes, yan. Expenditures related to development. Mali na. Development cost na yan. Okay, hindi yan part of exploration evaluation cost. Letter C. Tingnan natin yung D. Expenditures for activities in relation to evaluating or assessment of technical feasibility. Tinitest natin. Okay, inaalam natin kung meron ba talagang laman na gold yan. Letter C for number 2. Number 3. Does PFRA 6 require an entity to recognize an exploration evaluation expenditures as assets? Pwede daw bang gawing assets yan? Of course. Depende sa company policy yan. Punta ka sa letter C. Yes, but only to the extent required by the entity's accounting policy for recognizing exploration and evaluation of assets. Pwede i-capitalize, pwede i-expense. Depende sa company policy. But if the problem is silent, capitalize. Letter C for number 3. Number 4, an entity is required to consider which of the following in developing accounting policy. So ano daw yung i-consider natin for accounting policy? Punta ka sa BOY. Whether the accounting policy results in information that is relevant and reliable. Basta relevant and reliable para sa mga users of the financial statements, yun yung magiging basis natin. BOY for number 4. Number 5, which measurement model applies to exploration and evaluation cost subsequent to initial recognition? Sabi sa inyo, parang PPE lang to wasting assets. Okay? So initially, measure natin at cost. Subsequently, PPE siya, parang PPE. Okay? Or either cost model or revaluation model. DOG for number 5. Okay? Again, yung accounting for exploration, for wasting assets, similar lang yan sa accounting for PPE. DOG for number 5. Number 6, FYI na lang to, no? Which of the following is not a disclosure requirement by PFRS 6? Sa PFRS 6, hindi yan nire-require yung A. Okay? Information about commercial reserve quantities. Hindi yan nire-require yan. Yung B, C, and D, nire-require yan. So, basahin natin. Accounting policies for exploration, evaluation, information that identifies and explains the amounts recognized, amounts of assets, liabilities, etc. So, FYI na lang to, class. Letter A, yung hindi required disclosure. B, C, and D, required disclosures. Number 7, of the following costs related to the development, which one should not be included in the depletable cost? A, acquisition cost, of course. Yun yung item 1 natin. B, exploration cost, of course. Item number 2. C, tangible equipment cost associated with machinery. Kapag tangible equipment, PPE yan. Subject sa depreciation yan. Okay? So, ano lang yung sasama natin? Yung letter D, intangible development costs, kasama sa depletion yan. Okay? Tangible equipment, depreciation. Intangible development cost, such as yung pagdidrill natin or construction, ayan, yung drilling cost, tunnel shaft, yung mga examples ko kanina, depletion yan. Okay? So, hindi kasama letter C, tangible equipment, because this is a PPE, depreciation yan. Number 8, depletion expense. Punta ka dun sa A. Is usually part of cost of goods sold. Pag na-extract natin, inventory. Pag nabenta mo, cost of goods sold. Mali yung B, C, and D. Bakit, sir? B, includes tangible equipment. Mali na. Kasi depreciation na hindi depletion. C, excludes intangible equipment cost. Hindi. Pag intangible, includes yan. Okay? Ang excludes, yung tangible. Dog, excludes restoration, kasama yan. No? Restoration cost, kasama sa kinakapitalize natin sa wasting asset. Therefore, kasama yan sa depletion. A for number 8. Last one, number 9, the most common method of recording depletion. Units of production or output method, letter C for number 9. Okay? So, that ends our discussion on wasting assets and depletion.